This week, we give you our tips and tricks and a rundown of all the amazing guests coming to Kansas City's Planet Comicon. Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse. Warning.
Red alert.
Ay, 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 ay!
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
That's the emergency alert.
This episode is full of spoilers for some of the latest and greatest nerdy movies and shows.
Spoilers.
Listener discretion is advised. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse podcast. I'm Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxford.
And this week, we are coming together to bring you guys a Planet Comicon rundown. The event, by the time you're listening to this, is 1 week away. So we're going to talk about, our favorite tips for having a good time and who's going to be there this year. The list is crazy. It's their 25th anniversary, and they have, pulled out all the stops. And I, for one, I'm both excited and worried for my bank account.
Yeah.
But let's see, before we jump into any of that, Taylor, what have you been nerding out about this week, man?
So I've been reading an Elseworlds book. It's a Superman and Wonder Woman, and it's called, I can't remember what it's called. I can tell you what it's about, though. It's an Elseworld. It's Prestige Edition comic. So, it's that little bitty, it's not necessarily hardbound, but it's thicker with a heavier spine, like they used to do for the 84-page comics or whatever that they do for Elseworlds or contain stories. Well, I'm reading a Superman Wonder Woman right now, and they live on a Earth where the Nazis won World War II.
Oh man.
And the issue that I just read, Lois is an older woman now. Superman's there, but he's just found out about Auschwitz and all that stuff that's been hiding. He dug it all up out of the ground. And, it's really intense, and it's really right now they just turned Lois into Wonder Woman.
Mm.
It's bizarre and very dark, but at the same time, I can't put it down.
Right.
So it's an Elseworld, so it doesn't matter whatsoever. And it even has the old school Elseworlds, the star with the Elseworlds written around it, logo on it. So there's 4 parts to it. I've read the first 2.
Gotcha. What time frame would you say this book came out?
I'd probably sometime in the 90s.
90s, okay.
Early 2000s.
Yeah.
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, that sounds really cool, and I think I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, it's an older book for sure. Oh, and another thing, it's written by Chris Claremont.
Oh, okay.
Completely forgot about that part. And, of course, then it's very wordy.
Well,
so,
yeah.
So there are pages that are a block of exposition or just writing in general. So some pages look more intimidating, but the way he writes sometimes, if he's doing it well, the best version of Chris Claremont, it just doesn't, you read it doesn't feel like it's long.
Yeah.
The conversation moves so fluidly, and that it doesn't feel like an intimidating, barrage of words.
Yeah. Yeah, the man does love to put pen to paper.
Oh, man, he loves doing anything that's long-winded, in all honesty. But, here's the thing. He's good at it.
Exactly.
It's the longest line of any writer you'll ever stand in. But
That's true.
It's worth it for, the 10-minute conversation that you're going to have.
100%. Well, let's see. My nerding out. The past week and a half or so, with my wife and kids, we've been watching a good hour and a half each night of the extended editions of The Lord of the Rings, and it has been a good time. My kids are old enough to kind of enjoy it now, especially the older two, and I forgot what even prompted this to happen. I made a silly comment about, I called one of my kids a silly hobbit or something like that, and they're like, "What's a hobbit?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, we need to watch Lord of the Rings."
So what's funny is that our movie night on Wednesday nights, one of Danielle, who comes, she's one of the members of movie night.
Uh-huh.
Her picks have been, we just finished all 3 of the Hobbit movies and the first Lord of the Rings movie. Not the extended, but we did, and I can tell you, as someone who doesn't really enjoy fantasy, this last run through, I had a really good time watching it. I was tired at the end of every movie,
Yeah.
which is my biggest complaint for those movies. Is just they're just exhausting.
Yeah, the extended editions are 4 hours each, and we've, watching an hour, hour and 15-ish minutes at a time has treated it more like a series, and it's made it really easy to swallow.
Yeah, is there a lot of those extended that's just exposition dumps though?
Oh yeah, it fleshes out a whole bunch of stuff that you wouldn't necessarily need to enjoy the movie, but on the other hand, you wouldn't know without it.
Yeah, it's like supplemental material. It
Yeah.
doesn't. You don't have to have it, but it adds to the story.
And my wife has never seen the extended ones, and the kids hadn't seen any of them. So I'm like, you know what? Extended it is. And yeah, tonight when we get home, we're going to finish Return of the King. And then later this week, we're going to go back and do the Hobbit prequels. So we're going to watch them in that order. And I'm excited to watch those too.
We did those. We're doing it chronologically.
Nice.
So I will say the first Lord of the Rings movie is better than any of the Hobbit movies.
Yeah.
But the Hobbit movies are not as bad as people say they are.
Yeah, I remember liking them.
They're very. I understand why people don't like stuff when it's like not correct, especially when it comes to like older literature like that.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a kid's book, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, well, it's supposed to be anyway. And on top of that, they have this thing called the Cimmerillion. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Okay. So, and that thing is just supplemental material
Yes.
created for that universe. And they mix and match and throw some stuff. And so people got angry about it. But I mean, it's pretty digestible for movies that are like over 2 hours long.
Yeah.
And that's hard for anyone to watch. I feel like my attention span over the years has gotten worse because I watch a few movies a week. That's what I do to like exercise my brain and patience and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. I haven't watched the 3 Hobbit movies since they came out. I watched Lord of the Rings several times when I was younger, but I haven't watched the Hobbits other than once in the theaters, and then I did kind of some catch up to watch the newer ones as they released, but I have not watched any of them since the 3rd one was released, so I'm kind of excited to watch them again.
Yeah. They also are a lot better back to back than they are with long periods in between, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's been fun nerding out about Lord of the Rings, and I'm sure I'll keep nerding out about it in the future. But let's go ahead and talk about our Planet Comicon rundown. Again, we are 1 week away, so here's just a few tips that kind of has helped us over the years, and let's just go through that list. So my first tip is it's super helpful if you guys get your tickets early and go pick it up at one of their pickup locations out in the KC metro area. Get them early. That just saves you a line. You still have to get in the main line, but you don't have to get in 2 lines. So do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know over in Johnson County, Elite Comics is one of the pickup locations. So if you've already bought them online, you can go pick those up there. Or if you're closer to Kansas City, you can go pick them up at Bartle Hall. But yeah, find where to pick them up and get them. Let's see. Tip number 2, bring a backpack and or some kind of carrying bag. Because if you're like either of us, you're going to find some stuff you want, whether it's comics, art, Funkos, action figures, and you're going to need something to put them in. And not everyone has a bag, so it's helpful.
And with a backpack instead of a tote, your hands are free. That's like a big deal at cons because, you know, if you're rifling through comics or something like that, you have a place to keep your stuff secure on your person and still able to rifle through things.
Yep. You can get a little crazy like me. I throw a folded up tote in my backpack. So if my backpack gets too full, boom, another bag.
Yeah.
Let's see, this one. Like you would think it's common sense, but I've been doing this for years and sometimes I even forget. But you need to feed yourself and hydrate yourself.
Yes.
You kind of get excited. You get in these lines. You get to talking to people. You get to meet the celebrities. You get to rifling through comics. And before you know it, it's been 6 hours and you haven't eaten a bite or drank some water. And by the end of the day, you feel that if you haven't done it.
Yeah. Always have like a snack or like something because you're not moving a ton at these things just because they're pretty busy. You might be walking though and not realize how long you've been standing and or walking.
Yeah. And this is just an optional tip for 2 reasons. If you're like me, you know, my money it's all going to a certain, autograph or Funko Pop or something. So I've been the past few years bringing some food in a lunchbox, tucking it in my backpack. Again, optional tip, not saying, you're going to ruin your experience if you don't, but those lines for food also get crazy. So there's like another hour in another line, and it's not even for something fun. So at the very least, dump a ton of granola bars in your bag or something so you don't have to necessarily hop in one of those lines and kill, an hour or two. Let's see. Oh, the next one on the list. I know as technology emerges, more and more vendors and celebrities are accepting card, but it's still very smart to kind of bring some cash because a lot of people only accept cash. So make sure you grab some money. There's going to be an ATM at the place, which is great for an emergency. But if you're like me, I don't even want to spend $4 or $5 to grab my own money. So I'm going to go hop over to the bank before I head down there.
Yeah.
Next one, think about what you wear. Obviously, you want to be comfortable. It's going to be a lot of people in there, so you probably don't want to be too hot. And you want to wear some shoes that are good for walking because you're going to be on your feet a lot.
And this applies to normal civilians, not cosplayers. We understand you're uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah, cosplayers, we salute you for how amazing you look. And you're just kind of signing up to be a little uncomfortable for the day.
It's a treat for us.
Absolutely, and we appreciate it. They also have a cosplay repair station over there if they keep up with what they've been doing the last few years. So that's pretty cool. If you are a cosplayer, go find that place, and they're going to have like some duct tape and scissors and glue and whatever else you might need to repair a quick fix on your costume.
Yeah, which is just awesome that they even came up with that idea.
Yeah. Really, really helpful for people wearing a costume. I know in the past, I wore this big clunky Lex Luthor armor that I built, and I had to have the person that was with me bring a backpack full of duct tape and stuff just in case that thing fell apart. And it did once.
Yeah, I can imagine that big clunky thing.
I know. I need to figure out a way to get back down to pre-COVID weight so I can throw that thing on in the future.
I was thinking the other day, that costume, if you painted it blue, it would just be an apocalypse.
Oh, that's true. Or like a really poorly designed dark side.
Yes.
Ooh, let's see. If you are going to get an autograph or a photo with a celebrity, be prepared to pay for it. Now, a lot of people who've been going to these things for years get that, but I've still got friends who've never been to a Comic-Con, and, in their mind, they're paying this hefty fee to get through the door, so they're so excited to go run to these celebrities, get some autographs and photos, but what they don't realize is it's extra additional fees per person, per autograph, per photo, so just kind of have that in mind and in your budget. You can hop over to the Planet website and look at everyone's prices in advance, too, for the most part. Also, a lot of these people take both professional photo ops and selfies at their table. And if you want to save a little money but still want a photo, I usually go the selfie route because it's a little more cost effective. But there are a few bigger names this year, like Ian McDermott, for example, the Emperor Palpatine. He only does professional photo ops. So if you want a photo with him, that's the only way you're going to get it. So just kind of keep those things in mind as you prepare. Oh, and a lot of the comic book artists and authors usually don't charge a fee, like up to the first 5 are free or whatever. And then a handful of them will charge a small fee, but it's maybe a donation to the Hero Initiative. So it's really for a good cause, and then you get the autograph for free. But yeah, just kind of be prepared for all of that.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one's kind of a no-brainer, you would think. Just kind of be considerate and respectful of others. And there's so many ways you could take that statement. One, all the cool cosplayers and everything. If you want a photo with these guys, they are more than happy to take a photo with you. Just be prepared to ask them for permission. It's kind of nice to have consent before you just immediately do something like that. Same with, being respectful of the crowded area. Something I've been doing since the first year I started going to these things was I throw some deodorant in my backpack because I do not want to walk around being that guy, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do too. After the last couple of years, it's just that room gets so hot.
Right?
You don't even realize it just because there's so much bodies moving around. And also, just to also take some vitamin C or something before you go.
Yeah.
You don't want to get the con crud.
Yeah, you don't want to get it. And if you're sick, please don't pass it around. Be mindful of that.
Yeah, put a mask on. If you're not feeling good and you still want to go, just,
keep those germs to yourself.
Exactly.
Because con crud is kind of inevitable, so do your part in minimizing that.
Yes.
Let's see, my final statement here, just make the most of the convention. There's so much cool stuff to buy. The celebrities are cool, the authors and artists are cool. But go have fun. There's panels. Make sure you grab a program guide. Also, they have an app the past few years. Download the Planet Comicon app, and you can kind of make your own schedule. Go through the panels, and it'll let you create your day, which is kind of cool. And there's so many cool panels. I could spend another hour sitting here reading the panels to you, but you go check those panels out because there's going to be some you're going to want to see.
Absolutely.
Now, this year, in terms of celebrity guests, they have announced so many really cool people. Between actors, voice actors, nostalgic actors, the list is kind of crazy this year. And I think I mentioned earlier, this is easily going to cause a lot of people to go broke.
Yeah, I mean, they have an Avenger there. They have the Kingpin there. They have Hellboy is there. I mean, these are big characters in our job. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
Palpatine will be there. It's so crazy.
I know. But here's the list of everyone that's going to be there. I'm going to break it up a little bit. First, I'll just go through the voice actors. And I'm going to be honest, some of these are the people that I might be more excited than even some of the big names. The first one on my list, I'm just going alphabetically here. We have Greg Baldwin. He is the second voice of Uncle Iroh in Avatar: The Last Airbender. When the actor Mako, who played Uncle Iroh, passed away, sadly, this guy Greg Baldwin took over, and he does a phenomenal job of mimicking the original voice. It's kind of crazy. If you didn't know he took over, you wouldn't even know it was a different guy, honestly. But yeah, I'm excited to meet him. We have Adrienne Barbeau. She's also an author, but she was the voice of Catwoman in Batman the Animated Series, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
We have Dante Bosco. Man, okay, this is, if I had to pick a top 5 that I'm excited about, he is on that list. But he is Rufio from Hook. He's Prince Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm going to lose my mind meeting him. And I've got my fingers heavily crossed about some kind of a shout out or something for the podcast from him.
I didn't think he was alive, in all honesty.
Really?
I thought he died.
No, he's out there kicking it, man. And he's super young,
So
too.
I don't know why I thought. Doesn't he die in the movie?
Rufio dies in the movie.
Maybe I thought for some reason that happened in real life too. I don't know. That's
Maybe.
so weird.
Yeah, he
That's
and
just-
Janet Varney actually do one of my favorite podcasts. It's called Braving the Elements because he was Prince Zuko in the original Avatar and she's Avatar Korra in the sequel series. And they do an Avatar rewatch podcast together. And I love listening to it.
That's awesome.
Let's see, next one on the list is Jeff Bennett. And this guy, he is one of the gargoyles on the Gargoyles cartoon. He's the voice of Johnny Bravo. Johnny Bravo. But yeah, let's see, Suzanne Blakesley. She's Wanda on the Fairly Odd Parents. We've got, Keith David. This one is another one I'm a little excited about.
Oh wow! I didn't even know. Keith David, man.
Yeah, he's Goliath on Gargoyles. He's the villain on Princess and the Frog. He's been a zillion cartoons, honestly. That one's so exciting.
And video games.
And video games.
He's Captain Anderson on Mass Effect.
Oh, nice. Oh, and he's the president on Rick and Morty.
That's right. Oh, and I'm pretty sure he's the president in Saints Row as well.
Yeah. Let's see. We have
So funny.
Marty Grabstein. He's the voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog. We have Butch Hartman. He does a ton of voices, but he created things like The Fairly Odd Parents, Danny Phantom, and a ton of other cartoons. Let's see. We have Jason Marsden. He's the voice of Max on a Goofy movie. He's the voice of Kid Flash on Young Justice.
He was on Boy Meets World.
On Boy Meets World. He was on Full House. He's
Step by Step.
Yes, all these classic 90s things. He's the cat on Hocus Pocus.
Oh yeah, he is.
Let's see, next we have Michaela Murphy. She's Toph on Avatar: The Last Airbender. We have, Darren Norris. He's Cosmo on The Fairly Odd Parents. He was also a few voices on Team America World Police.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that one either. Oh, we have Diane Pershing. She's Poison Ivy from Batman the Animated Series.
Ooh.
And we have Bradley Pierce. He was Chip the Little Cup on Beauty and the Beast. He was also Tails on the original Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. And he was the kid on Jumanji, the little brother.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Let's see, Tara Strong is going to be here. Obviously, she's amazing. She was Miss Minutes on Loki. She's Twilight Sparkle on the My Little Ponies. She's Raven on Teen Titans. Who hasn't she been?
Yeah.
Okay, now hopping over into live action, we've got Melissa Barrera. She was in the Scream 5 and 6 movies. She's in The Heights. She's in a lot of current things. Oh, we've got John Barenthal from The Walking Dead and The Punisher. That one's awesome.
Yeah, that one is awesome. I feel like he will be at cons for a while. Like, I don't see him going away from cons for a while, but there's a couple other names on here that I'm like, I don't know how many cons that they'll ever do.
Yeah. Oh, the next one is Paul Bettany, aka
That one.
Vision. Oh my gosh. That's going to be amazing.
Also, like, doesn't live here. So it's like he's coming from overseas.
Yeah.
Like, I think that one is going to be a lot harder to get a hold of later.
Yep. So I'm trying to mentally budget and plan for this. He's always going to be Geoffrey Chaucer to me.
Yeah.
One of my
no,
favorite movies was A Knight's Tale, and he was awesome in it.
Do you think there's somebody out there that he'll always be the creepy priest in what was it, Angels and Demons?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one. Yeah, maybe.
You think there's somebody out here that's my favorite Paul Bettany character?
I bet those are fun when they come in your line at a convention.
Yeah. Like, what do you say? You're just like, oh,
Thanks.
yeah, that was, I did that.
Let's see, the next one on the list is Barry Bostwick. That one's awesome, too. From Rocky Horror Picture Show and Spin City. That's kind of exciting.
Yeah. Spin City's awesome.
Oh, I love that show so much. I'm a crazy Michael J. Fox fan. If they brought the Back to the Future people to this con, I would have lost my mind.
My wife is a huge Michael J. Fox fan too, but for the whole Parkinson's thing, because her father and then her grandmother, and that's like one of those that if he's there, we're going.
Oh,
We're going and we're going to meet him. We're going to have him sign a book. We're going to have him, like, we'll pay for the whole shebang.
Oh, yeah.
Just because to us, he's kind of a hero.
Yeah, top tier guy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, next one on the list is Sophia Botella. She's in that recent Rebel Moon movie. She's in the Mummy remake. She's in the Star Trek. What was that latest one with Chris Pine and those guys? She's in the latest one. I cannot
Beyond?
think of it. Yeah, Star Trek Beyond. But she's pretty cool. We've got Michael Copan. He was from Power Rangers Time Force. He was the Blue Ranger, and he's going to be hanging out with the Elite Comics guys all week. So I'm real excited to go swing by and meet him.
That's cool. How many Rangers have you met, do you think?
You know, I've met every single Mighty Morphin Ranger except Kat, the second Pink Ranger. She just hasn't been anywhere near me. And I've met Time Force Red, and I've met Zordon. Other than that, I'm about to meet Time Force Blue. He's the next Ranger, and I'm super excited.
Wow. You know, I'm kind of surprised you haven't met more.
Yeah, it's just a matter of they go to all these conventions all year, but not really a lot of ones near us, you know?
They do a lot of local California ones, don't they? Like New York ones.
Yep, and there's a few Dallas area ones, I think. They hold like the big Power Morphicon thing. That'd be super cool to go to one year.
Yeah, we should do that one year.
All right, we got Ming Chen from Comic Book Man. He's kind of a staple around Planet Comicon. It's cool that he's coming back.
Yeah, like he's always there. It cracks me up. And like you'll see him just walking around too, which is funny.
Okay, we got Kathy Coleman. She's one of the nostalgic guests. She was one of the actresses on Land of the Lost from back in the day, so that's pretty cool. Oh, dude, this one, Vincent D'Onofrio. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like there's a part of me that's like really excited to meet him, and then there's a part of me that's scared to meet him.
Yeah, don't touch me. Scary man.
Don't touch me. Yeah, don't look directly at me. Like he's been Kingpin. He's been the alien from Men in Black. He's been the psychopath from The Cell.
I know.
Like he's been the guy, Private Pile from Full Metal Jacket. I mean, the guy has literally been around forever.
Yep.
And he just gets better. And I've never thought anyone could humanize the Kingpin, but still make him just as terrifying as he's always been. Like, that man is a top tier actor, period.
Yep.
He is the real deal when it comes to actors, in my opinion. Like, there are very many people who have played, they're villains, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he has an air about him that's just, he can just turn it on and off. And meeting him, I think will just be a really big deal for me.
Yeah. I feel that same way about Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
That guy's a good villain. But in real life, he's like the nicest guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. The next one on the list here is Wesley Ure. He's another nostalgia guest. He was in that Land of the Lost show back in the day. Oh, and then we got Danielle Fishel, a.k.a. Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'd like to meet her. My wife's met her a couple times at this point, but I haven't.
Yeah, same here. I've been trying to track down a Topanga Funko Pop, but man, the people are quadruple charging what those things are worth on the PPG app right now.
I don't remember ever seeing those come out ever at all.
They only made Corey and Topanga. They didn't make anyone else in the series.
Wow.
And speaking of Boy Meets World, the next one on the list is Will Friedle. Obviously, Eric from Boy Meets World. He's also Batman Beyond. He's in Kim Possible. He's in Transformers. He's in all kinds of cartoons. The dude's awesome.
And speaking of him as Batman Beyond, here's a little news blurb. He will be coming back in Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2.
Yes, as Terry McGinnis, and I'm so excited about that.
And I thought it was weird that they said Terry McGinnis and not Batman Beyond.
Yeah,
Did you notice that?
Yeah. I wonder what capacity we'll see him in.
Yeah, like, are we actually going to see him as Batman Beyond, or is it just going to be an older version of him, like, in the chair?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. The next one on the list is Nika Futterman. She's the voice of Asajj Ventress on Star Wars The Clone Wars, so that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, we got Garrett Hedlund. He's in Tron Legacy and all kinds of other things like that. Oh, we've got Charlie Hunnam, who we know from Sons of Anarchy, from Pacific Rim, Rebel Moon. That's awesome.
I was a big Sons of Anarchy fan when that show was on.
Yeah, you know, as many shows as I've seen, I have not watched Sons of Anarchy.
It's a twist and turn. It reminds me of Breaking Bad, where like none of the characters are good people.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know. It's just a really well written show. It doesn't go on too long. You know, all the actors in it are like really good. Yeah, I recommend it. I really do. I highly recommend it.
Yep.
Doesn't end on a high note for real.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, it's kind of like at the end of Breaking Bad. It's like, you know, they're going to die.
Right.
Like, there's no way out of this unless they make the ending awful. And the ending's not awful. It's amazing. So, yeah, highly recommend meeting Charlie. I mean, even if, like, I've been watching him since Green Street Hooligans. Have you ever seen that movie?
I think so, yeah.
It's with Elijah Wood and him, and they're, like, soccer hooligans.
Yep.
Yeah, that movie is really, really good. I mean, he's actually a very good actor. I saw, like, King Arthur movie.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people didn't like that movie, but I really enjoyed it.
Yep. A lot of people want him to be Oliver Queen in the new DCU. I can see that.
Man, that would be so cool.
Yep. Yeah, let's see. The next one on the list is Omri Katz. He's the main boy from Hocus Pocus. That's kind of cool. He's one of the nostalgia guests.
Yeah, that is neat.
We've got Jamie Kennedy from Scream and The Mask 2 and Malibu's Most Wanted. That one's pretty funny.
And the Jamie Kennedy Experience, isn't that what it was called?
Yep. I forgot about that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and he was like, I always knew him as the not Seth Green.
Right?
Like, and for a while I didn't actually I thought he was annoying, but now I think he's funny. I think he'd be fun to meet, I think.
Yeah.
What Funko would you get of him?
You know, I don't know.
Do they have one?
I've kind of gone through this list and scoured for, what Funko exists of these people's characters, and I couldn't find one of him.
Huh. They don't make a Malibu's Most Wanted Funko?
Not that I could find. That doesn't mean it
See,
doesn't
that's
exist.
a mistake. I feel like of all the things that they've done, I feel like that's a mistake if they haven't.
Agreed.
That would be an amazing sculpt.
The next one on the list is Sid Croft, who created Land of the Lost and H.R. Puffin stuff and Sigmund the Sea Monster. That's kind of cool. He's one of the nostalgia guests.
What would be the question you'd ask him?
Like, what were you smoking, man?
I was like, it's awesome. I have H.R. Puffin stuff on DVD.
Yeah.
I like his stuff, but yeah, there's no way that man did that sober.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, this next one I'm super pumped about. Matthew Lillard from Scream and Scooby-Doo. And I'm going to have him sign a Shaggy Funko Pop. That's going to be awesome.
I have a Shaggy Funko, but I think I'm going to have him sign an SLC Punk DVD. Have you ever seen that movie?
I don't know. I don't think I have.
SLC Punk. It's one of his like younger roles, and he's this punk rock guy in LA. It's like a really devastating movie, but it's very good. It's like the movie that I first saw him at, and I was like, oh, you're not just like a fun actor. You actually can do depth as well. So
Yep.
I like that whole, although he gets pigeonholed in the same position a lot. It's like the geeky best friend or whatever, or, but yeah. Check out that movie. Also, Wicker Park with him in it's very good.
Nice. Ooh, this next one, people are going to lose their minds. I don't know how people are going to make it through the line, but Ian McDiarmid, the Emperor from Star Wars. Yeah, I'm mentally preparing that might not happen for me because I don't know if I have the capacity to get in that line. We'll see what happens.
Do it.
Okay, maybe I will.
Unlimited power.
Let's see, next we got Don Most, who played Ralph Malph on Happy Days. We've got Dermot Mulroney, he was in Scream, he was in Young Guns, My Best Friend's Wedding. We've got, Ron Perlman, Hellboy, Sons of Anarchy, Pacific Rim. That's an awesome one.
Beast,
yeah,
Beast.
from the 90s, Beauty and the Beast.
He was on Sons of Anarchy as Clay.
Yep.
Yeah, he was in the old movie Kronos, which was one of Guillermo del Toro's first movies.
Yep.
That guy he's awesome. I wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley, that's for sure. He's a big dude.
Yeah. Ooh, next we got comedian and comic creator Brian Posehn. He's going to be there courtesy of the Comedy Club, so he's going to be sitting with those guys at their booth all weekend. Dude is hilarious. I was able to meet him at Elite Comics last year, and he signed some Deadpool stuff, and he's awesome.
That's amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I have so much stuff with him in it. I don't know what I'd have him sign.
Yeah, and if it's anything like when he came to Elite, he didn't charge you to sign comics, so that would be awesome if he does the same. This is a big event, though, so I'm not trying to put words in his mouth or anything, but that would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Ooh, let's see, John Rhys Davies from Lord of the Rings. He's Gimli, and all week watching these movies with my kids, I'm like, I recently bought a Funko Pop, and it's almost here. I'm going to have him sign it. That's going to be awesome.
That's real cool.
Then we got Adam Savage from Mythbusters. I'm real excited about that. He's been to Kansas City before, but I'm going to be honest, I didn't want to pay for a photo having to wear a mask. I know that maybe that's bad of me, but I'm like, dude will come back around sometime. And he has changed his rules about that stuff. So he's coming back around, and I'm excited to get a photo with him.
Yeah, I feel like he comes
every couple years or something, yeah. Let's see, next we got Vanessa Shaw. She was the main girl on Hocus Pocus, and she's been in a few horror movies and other things. Oh, we've got Ryder Strong, Sean from Boy Meets World. He's also been a ton of cartoon voices, and my kids and I recently, during COVID, watched Star versus the Forces of Evil, and he's the character Tom, and he's like a demon prince, and I have a Funko Pop of that character, so I'm going to have him sign that. That's going to be cool.
That is really cool.
Let's see, astronaut Steve Swanson. That's kind of crazy. They're bringing back another astronaut.
I feel like that's going to be an every year thing.
Right? And last year, the first 75 teachers got to go do a professional development thing with these guys. This year, they didn't set something like that up, so I'm a little bummed. But yeah, it's really cool that they keep bringing astronauts back. So go meet an astronaut, guys. Let's see, the next one on the list is Skeet Ulrich, which is really cool, from Scream and Jericho and Riverdale. That's a cool one.
Yeah, it was cool.
And then Anson Williams, he was Potsy on Happy Days. And then, of course, returning guest Henry Winkler, a.k.a. The Fonz from Happy Days, and The Waterboy and Barry and all these other awesome shows. But yeah, that list is pretty stacked.
Yeah, to say the least.
And that's not even touching on the comic creators. There's so many cool comic creators like Jason Aaron, Kevin Altieri, Cullen Bunn, Alan Burnett, Chris Claremont, Amanda Connor, Kevin Eastman, that's another big one, he's coming back. Jeff Edwards. We've got Chris Grind, Jeremy Hahn, Phil Hester, Dennis Hopeless, Ryan Kincaid, Megan Levins. I'm excited to get some of my Star Trek stuff signed with her. We've got Doug Mankey, Kevin Mellon, B. Clay Moore, Bill Morrison, Jimmy Palmiotti, Andy Parks, Baldemar Rivas, Don Rosa. I'm trying to find an Uncle Scrooge pop I want Don Rosa to sign.
Oh, that's cool.
Rick Stacy, Kyle Strom. Oh, man, Mark Waid. I'm so excited that Mark Waid's going to be there. I don't know if I've mentioned the first graphic novel I ever owned. Not comic book, but graphic novel. My dad gave it to me when I was real young. It's a hardback Kingdom Come, first edition. And I'm going to have him sign that, and I'm real excited about it.
That's cool.
I'm also going to have him sign my Christmas Daredevil, where Matt Murdock's wearing the sweater that says "I'm not Daredevil" Funko Pop.
Yeah.
Then we got Freddie Williams and a ton of others that I haven't named. But yeah, guys, go to the website, look at all these amazing creators and celebrities. I didn't even mention any of the cosplayers. And the list is great to look at for a couple reasons, because you can see which exact days these people are going to be there. They're not all going to be there all 3 days, so you might want to check that out. And you can also see the prices for 99% of these people, so you can kind of budget ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's Planet Comicon this year, and I, for one, am super excited to go. I can't believe it's a week away.
Yeah, we're excited to see you guys there.
Yeah, look for us near the same place we were last year, around the arcade and old school gamer area, and we'll be hanging around one way or another.
All right.
But hey, next week, come back. We're going to have our friend Buddy the Elf join us, and we're going to be talking about some of our favorite con experiences. And then the following week, we'll jump back into the news, guys. But hey, as for us here at the Taylorverse, I've been Billy Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And get out there to Planet Comicon, and then come back here, same Taylor time, same Taylor channel.
Bye, guys.
Bye.